My name is Patricia. I'm a senior consultant with Deloitte Cyber Risk Services.
My name is Chelsey Slack, and I am the Deputy Head of Cyber Defense with the international staff at NATO Headquarters.
I'm originally a mathematician, and I got into cybersecurity through cryptography. That was kind of my way in, which was a nice segue from math into security. And now I work in information protection team, basically focusing on encryption services. I started working on women in cyber about a year ago, I think now, starting from scratch and trying to figure out, what we could do that would make sense. And the first thing that we wanted to do was to recognize the women in Switzerland, mostly, but also abroad, who are doing great things in security. And this is why we came up with the concept of these interview series, which actually Chelsey gracefully participated in.
Really, as we were discussing previously, fell into the cyber field. I have a background in international relations and political science, so always focused on stability and reconstruction and relations between states. But then really was given the opportunity to work on one of NATO's first policies on cyber defense, and had some great mentors, some great experts in the field who I worked with, and then eventually decided to go back to school and to pursue a master's in the area to have a bit more of an academic setting in it. And for the past 8-9 years have been working in that capacity. So really it was by chance in a way. It's a very multidisciplinary field, and something that your knowledge is never complete. So it's a constant journey.
Well, maybe starting with what Deloitte is doing, and they're doing a lot, to be fair, in different areas. So there's working parents policies, there's flexible working, there's a lot of things that they're doing in general to make sure that women stay on, for example, once they have a child, that they're mentored as well, like throughout their whole journey within Deloitte. So there's a lot going on in there. And then we have Women in Cyber, which is also for our own teams, where we try to give them, opportunities to work on specific tasks that will also help them progress within Deloitte, which is very cool, because it's like a mini startup within a big company, which I really like. And then myself personally, on the side, I get involved with a number of activities, specifically with EPFL as my alma mater. It's close to my heart. And they have an equal opportunities office, which is also extremely active and doing a lot of great things. And so we've collaborated on a number of things. Wherever it makes sense, wherever I feel like it can contribute or help someone out, try to do it.
I think the organization, for me personally, there's role models. Our Deputy Secretary General, as you know, is a woman, so having those role models is really important. The organization has also put in place a mentoring program for women. So I've taken part as a mentee and now as a mentor as well. So I think building on the mentoring function, that's really crucial. And more broadly speaking, from a policy perspective, we're trying to address this across the alliance, and several allies have put in place really interesting either education and training programs, student competitions, ways of getting girls into the science, technology, engineering, and math, the STEM subjects. And so what we try to do is we find these best practices, these really innovative recruitment programs or education programs that do promote not only girls' education, but also from a diverse set of backgrounds. And we try to share those across the different allies, because we know, the shortage of cybersecurity skills is growing, and that's something that we feel using some of the good work that's going on in the 29 different countries, trying to match that expertise and inspire other similar programs is really useful. So that's what we're working on.
I think the one thing that people need to know about cybersecurity is that there's so many ways to get into it, and there's also so many things that you can do within it. So I haven't spoken to anybody yet, man or woman, who when you speak their language doesn't find it an exciting field. It may be just a question of tailoring the message, but it's an exciting place to be in. There's so much to do. You're never going to be out of a job, and people are great. You can literally work in any country, in any type of company, or for the government, or academia, or whatever. There's just endless opportunities.
I think with an international relations background from you, what's really fascinating about this field is technology is everywhere. Our societies are increasingly digital. We have how many devices? We have smart houses, smart cities. So in that sense, having the opportunity to work, especially in an international organization, on this intersection between international relations and technology is something that's quite unique. And as Patricia said, there's so many things you can do in that sense because it's multidisciplinary. We need the technical expertise, the more traditional expertise in this area, if you like. But as we see, cyber is increasingly an issue of high politics. So then you need the policy and you need the strategy elements. And there's a variety of backgrounds that can be brought to bear in that sense. So I would say in terms of kind of the three things that have been most useful for me personally has been the ability to put pieces of the puzzle together, given they are so interdisciplinary, to find the technical details, but also the broader implications from other fields. Second is really to then translate that because we are working across sectors. So to make sure that you can take the technical elements and translate those into policy and so what questions for decision makers is important. And then third is really linked to the communication aspect, but getting the so what across. How does this all come together then when you brief your boss or a decision maker on these topics? How do you present that case in a compelling way? So that's been quite important in my experience moving forward. But indeed, never a dull moment. As I said, it's very much a journey and something that you continue to build your expertise and find new interests along the way, which is quite rewarding.